Hello there. Before we dive into our story, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more captivating tales. Antoinette's world was a shimmering, precarious bubble of silk, secrets, and whispered desires in 17th-century Paris. As one of the city's most sought-after courtesans, she commanded attention not just with her striking beauty, a cascade of dark curls, eyes the color of emeralds, and a smile that promised both wit and warmth, but with her keen intellect and a spirit that refused to be confined. Her salon was a hub of intellectual discourse and discreet assignations, a place where philosophers debated and dukes confessed their vulnerabilities. One blustery autumn evening, the doors of her elegant townhouse swung open to admit a figure who seemed to carry the very essence of a distant, wild land. Duke Pyotr Volkov, an emissary from the burgeoning Russian court, was a man of imposing stature with eyes as blue as a winter sky and a demeanor that was both formidable and surprisingly gentle. Unlike the effusive French nobleman, Pyotr was reserved, observing Antoinette with an intensity that made her feel seen, truly seen, for the first time in years. Their initial encounters were a delicate dance of cultural exchange. He spoke of vast, snow-laden forests and the grandeur of Moscow. She introduced him to the nuanced delights of French cuisine and the intricate politics of Versailles. What began as a professional arrangement soon blossomed into something far deeper. Pyotr didn't just desire her company, he cherished her mind, her laughter, her quiet moments of contemplation. He saw past the polished facade of the courtesan to the woman beneath, and for the first time, Antoinette felt a profound connection that transcended the transactional nature of her profession. When the time came for Pyotr to return to Russia, the thought of his departure left Antoinette with an ache she hadn't known she was capable of feeling. To her astonishment, he didn't just propose a continued correspondence, he offered her a life with him in Russia, a life of comfort and respect, not as his wife, for their social standing and her past made that impossible in the eyes of the court, but as his beloved companion. The decision was monumental, leaving behind everything she knew for an unknown future in a land cloaked in snow and mystery. Yet, the promise in his eyes, the undeniable love that shone there, was enough. Life in Russia was a stark contrast to the flamboyant luxury of Paris. The air was crisp, the landscapes vast and wild, and the court at Moscow was grand but less frivolous. Pyotr, true to his word, treated her with unparalleled kindness and respect. He gave her a beautiful dacha on the outskirts of his estate, surrounded by fragrant pine forests, and ensured she lacked for nothing. He introduced her to his friends and family, always presenting her with dignity and affection. However, their journey wasn't without its trials. The bitter Russian winters were a shock to Antoinette's Parisian sensibilities, and the absence of her familiar social circles brought moments of profound loneliness. The unspoken judgment from some at court, who saw her as a foreign courtesan rather than the duke's cherished partner, was a constant, subtle hum of discomfort. But the greatest heartache came in the quiet, desperate hope for a child. She suffered 2 miscarriages, each loss a devastating blow that tested her resolve and the strength of their bond. Pyotr, always steadfast, held her through the tears, his own grief mirroring hers, his unwavering love a balm to her wounded spirit. Through these difficult times, their love deepened, forged in shared sorrow and reinforced by their unwavering commitment to each other. Antoinette, resilient by nature, found solace in learning Russian, in exploring the vast countryside on horseback, and in cultivating a beautiful garden that reminded her of home. She discovered a quiet strength within herself she hadn't known she possessed. Then, when she had almost given up hope, a miracle bloomed. Antoinette found herself pregnant once more. This time, the pregnancy was fraught with anxiety, but her spirit, hardened by past losses, was also buoyed by an indomitable hope. After a long and arduous labor, she gave birth to a healthy, beautiful son with Pyotr's blue eyes and her own dark curls. They named him Alexei. The arrival of Alexei transformed their lives. While marriage remained an impossibility, their bond was stronger than any formal vow. Pyotr doted on his son and on Antoinette, his love for her evident in every tender glance, every thoughtful gesture. Their home, once a sanctuary for 2, now hummed with the joyous chaos of family. Antoinette, the celebrated courtesan of Paris, had found her true happiness not in the glittering salons of her past, but in the heart of Russia, cherished and loved, a mother at last, her extraordinary life a testament to the enduring power of love that defied societal expectations.